Today we're continuing our run to see how the new Duelist class will hold up in prisons with their Spear Scimitar combo, and also using an Armor of Flow to kite enemies. We're gonna grab the Ankh for an HP reset if needed, and we can't forget a Stone of Augmentation to make our spear speedy. As you know by now, having a faster spear will give us that reach without the drawback of letting enemies hit us. Potion of Purity is also an obvious choice for removing hunger, and we'll come back for the darts and honeypot later. Whip is a good addition to our arsenal. We can always use it for the final boss fight against Yogg, to get that extra reach. I think we'll be running around this room a lot. It will help us spread out the enemies, and also giving us access to patches of water for flow. Not too sure which talents are better yet. I suppose we can't go wrong with more movement speed. It's good to find another water-filled room on this floor. Running back up to the alchemy pot quickly, and we also find a bonus secret room. The extra honey pots will definitely be a lifesaver later during our fight with Tengu. I don't want to blow our Ankh yet since we're still around half health. I think we can salvage the hunger situation with just a potion of cleansing for now. The reason we're starving to death is because we waste so much time killing all these enemies that keep respawning. I'm upgrading Spear hoping the extra damage will save us some time and therefore turns of hunger too. In the perfect scenario, we can upgrade one single weapon and then the Duelist has a tier 3 talent later that lets you make the secondary weapon equal in level to your primary. But we may not have the luxury to wait, so I'm gonna spread the upgrades around for now. I probably should have switched to the Scimitar here since it would have done more melee damage, and it's an instant swap for the Duelist. There's no water around here, so plan B is this. We'll do the other grave if there's some time later. It's a dangerous situation right now since we haven't found any water yet to kite enemies on, so I'm hoping to find some soon. Luring it further into the grassy area would be a bad idea right here. I think I'll trade a Stone of Sleep for some extra HP. We could have tried getting rid of the cripple over the water, but I'm not sure what other enemies are coming towards us right now. Using the skeleton to block line of sight so we don't get zapped by the DM100. Not gonna fight this guard out in the open, definitely don't want to get crippled out here. There's a pit room here, but we haven't crafted any Featherfall. I'm using Flow to get closer to the DM100 first, as well as blocking its vision by hiding in this corner. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't the first time I've reached prison with this build, and I've died at least 4 other times with a Spear and Flow combo due to getting worn down by enemies and having no more food or healing. And other times just being unlucky and having no escape mechanisms. So don't expect an easy run just because you get an Armor of Flow and a Spear. It makes the run viable, but certainly not easy. Usually I gamble on the chest in the early game, but since we're running low on resources, I'm hoping there's a Transmutation or a Lullaby Scroll in here. Now we are allowed to die. And back down we go. I was so confused here as to what poisoned me. Totally forgot these purple guys existed for a minute. I'm pretty sure we should have a remove curse by now. Evasion is a decent ring. Wish it were a higher level though. And it also got a minor nerf in the latest update. I'm gonna pretend that was intentional because it was really smooth. There we go. Just enough water tiles to lose cripple. That would have been a quick way to end the run. Probably could have hid behind the doors after the necromancer started summoning to lure it over. Skipping over the part where it took a few hundred misses to kill all these fish. Hoping to identify something useful like lullaby, transmutation, or levitation to make some aqua blasts. Would help to create water on floors where it's lacking and make flow more consistent. Crafting some much needed phase shift. I think it's definitely a huge factor to successfully making it through prisons. Finally picked up a lullaby. We'll try to save that for Tengu. The 2 meat pies we crafted should be more than enough to get us there. One tip about honey pots, I like to drop them off at the start of a floor to prevent thieves from stealing them. Too many times have they been shattered by those annoying jerks. I'm liking this strategy of swapping the scimitar to try and quickly kill the squishier enemies like DM100 and necromancers. It's an instant switch and we can also instantly swap back to spear, as long as the purple timer icon is there in the top left. Luckily we have all this water right at the start, or else we would have been forced to waste a phase shift on the guard. The only crappy part is I can't think of a way to avoid the skelly explosions for these fights. These extra large floors take forever to explore. You can tell by the little orange plus sign next to the stairs icon in the top right of the screen. It can really be a death sentence because we end up wasting so much time, torches, and hunger here. Testing out Sword Dance to see if it helps make a difference. It does seem to make me miss a lot, but at least it instantly triggers our shield talent when used since we're below 50% HP. Not the best ring. The little bit of extra damage is better than nothing, I suppose. Have a lot of rings already. Let's go for more wands. Not as game-changing as a corrosion or a blast wave wand. Still good utility though. Can blind ranged enemies, detect traps, and help us save some torches. Whoops. Phase shifts help save resources in the long term. Without them in this situation, we would have been forced to use a more expensive Scroll of Terror or a Potion of Invisibility. Avoid getting ambushed by these Vine Lashers by throwing items to clear the tall grass. It will let us see them ahead of time. Kind of tempted to get the Corruption to do some trolling, but the pragmatist in me says to get more Fire Blast. I predict this will be a fairly difficult fight, even with our 2 Fire Blast wands. Probably similar to a warrior run. We definitely want to be at full health for this. Going to try and get as much damage over time on him as possible. Both burning and poison will stack damage. I'd like to avoid chasing Tengu around the room if possible. We're getting some pretty crappy trap layouts for this fight. Maybe keeping the rapier would have been a good idea to help close the gap. Too bad I sold it. Low HP after phase 1 isn't a good sign. We have to play fairly aggressively in phase 2 now, meaning using items earlier and not saving anything. Hopefully we can keep Tengu paralyzed for most of the fight or distracted by bees. Probably shouldn't have used both the bee and the Stone of Blink at the same time. Someone explained to me how a guy can teleport while paralyzed. Okay, that last beast should be able to take him down. Just need to stay alive now. In hindsight, I could have activated the Scimitar ability to trigger shield talent here, though it's pretty hard to do while trying to keep ahead of the flaming wall trap. Alright, that was a bit too close for comfort, but we managed to get the job done. I'm playing Beta 3 right now, so only the champion subclass is available so far. Makes your choice easier. My current opinion of Duelist is that Prisons is still a very difficult chapter to get through. Maybe we got a bit unlucky having no artifacts and somewhat weak rings. I'll stop here for now, and we'll see you next time in Caves, to see if we fare any better there. Bye for now.